What's up with y'all, soul family, star family, subconscious community, and anyone tuning into this video from anywhere here on this planet Gaia? What's happening here? So what it is, I haven't made a video in a little while, probably at least a week or so. So a whole bunch of big things have been happening. All sorts of crazy shit's been happening, man. I'm about to go do a gig here in Orange, so I'm just kind of stopped off here, you know, just trying to make this little video for the soul group out there. For anyone who's interested in, you know, understanding these energies more that we're experiencing right now. I'm going to talk about them more in a second, but I'm trying to remember what the date is right now. Let's see. March 5th. That's what it is. Okay, so it's Tuesday, March 5th today. I'm putting up a video very soon with the days of the week. So today is Mars Day, so it's a Mars influence. We have Mars in Taurus right now, as we have talked about in some previous videos. Debilitated in detriment, 12 degrees. But we're going to talk about some of the more pressing transits going on right now and occurring. We've been having a whole bunch of crazy transits going on, but let's just talk about what we got going on real quick right here, because I got to get going soon, man. I got to get there early and set my shit up. So as I make this video, for the first time in many months, I've been checking my, you know, astrology ephemeris app. You know, I check it many times a day, check in the transits and the planetary alignments and the aspects that we have going on. So the first time in many months, I've been doing this for a while now, the first time I've seen a retrograde in any of the planets. We've had all the planets direct since about, you know, early December, something like that. So now we're here on March 5th, and it's a day earlier than my personal ephemeris told me it would happen, but my other ephemeris app, I got a couple, told me it's happening right now. Mercury just went into retrograde. So this video, we're going to talk a little bit about this Mercury retrograde and the new moon in Pisces, which is also today. It's occurring in a few hours. It's today, tomorrow, you know, it's going to happen in the early morning today, I think, for people who live here where I live in SoCal, baby. We out here in Cali. So, I'm chilling right now at the block of Orange, whatever the hell they call this now. They call it like the shops of Orange or something. I don't know, man. Up here in Orange County. And so, yeah, so we're going to talk just a little bit more about a couple of these energies, like the Mercury retrograde. So, let's just first start with the Mercury retrograde, and talk about that real quick, because that's the most, you know, interesting new thing. This video is going to be all about communication, and I myself here am ruled by Mercury, being a Virgo rising, and Mercury is retrograde in my chart. So this is a very, in a way, I feel like I've come home again, to be honest. But I'm also starting to feel this energy pulse through me right now, which is good, honestly. For me, it's a good thing in many ways. But for everyone in our collective consciousness, in our collective realm of humanity here, it's going to be a very interesting and potentially very fallen situations will be coming out of this. So what we have is we have Mercury here in Pisces, 29th degree. So Mercury has been on the cusp of Pisces and Aries for a few days now, that being known as the cusp of rebirth in natal astrology. So we've got, you know, Mercury is only a few minutes. Mercury's like 38 minutes at 29 degrees Pisces. So it's only like 30 minutes, which is really like a day almost, from going into Aries, where it would have been into the cardinal fire. But it's retrograde now, just went retrograde, and I've been checking the ephemeris telling me about, you know, how this is all going to play out through the year. And Mercury's going to be in retrograde for this whole month, basically, and then go back direct once it gets back to the middle of Pisces, about 16 degrees. We'll then join Venus, because Venus we have now in Aquarius, just went in a few days ago, 4 degrees Aquarius. So Venus is going to transit through Aquarius, lickety split in the next month, and then she's going to meet up with Mercury. They're not actually going to meet on degree, but they're going to be in the same sign, therefore conjunct. So that'll be cool, having that our love and appreciation values and art and you know, being in conjunction in Pisces, mutable water, with our thinking and communicating, which will be cool. And Pisces, real quick, let's just talk about Pisces being the 12th house, 12th celestial house of the zodiac. So we're in our last days of the year here, and we're talking about it was securities rolling up. We cool? All right, we cool. We're talking about, you know, we're finishing up our celestial year here. The sun is about to go back into the first house here. So what we have is we have Mercury here in Pisces, and Pisces representing being mutable and adaptable to our own and other people's ways of feeling and dealing with the emotions. So we're talking about riding the waves and surfing a lot when we're talking about Pisces. Pisces can surf the biggest waves. It depends on the Pisces, depends on what other alignments and energies they have. But Pisces are the surfers of the zodiac in many ways, as well as Cancers. But Pisces is more like out in the open water. They do a lot. Man, security's rolling back around. Hope they don't mess with me here. I do have a history of that. And so that's what Pisces here represents, the fishes, mutable water. So that's where we have Mercury, and Mercury happens to be fallen and in detriment here in Pisces. So it's by far the most debilitated position for Mercury. And so Mercury has been drowning and is rendered very useless here in Pisces in many ways. But really what it is it's just a whole new experience for Mercury, riding the waves and all that type of thing. It's something that Mercury doesn't really mess with, that type of energy. So it's a challenge for Mercury in many ways. Now it's retrograde, so we're dealing with, when a planet is retrograde, we're dealing with elements from the past in many ways, because the planet's moving backwards as far as our ecliptic 360-degree path of the zodiac. We have a planet moving backwards. So Mercury is going to keep going from 29 degrees Pisces back down to like 16, every few days. And then eventually we'll have Mercury going to Aries again sometime in April, I think. Probably like around my birthday or something. But yeah, man, so this Mercury retrograde will be allowing us to, in a very, very illusory and dreamlike state, very imaginative, perhaps very creative. We're going to have, that's how people are going to be thinking and communicating. So those are the thoughts we're going to be having. We're going to be communicating them. But for those of my left brain homies out there, such as myself, my earth and air homies out there, anyone with those signs prominent in their chart, this is not, Mercury essentially cannot be used for logic right now. Logic is completely out the window. Logic and left brain stuff when it comes to thought and intellectual communication, any of that stuff, logic is not in. So we're talking about dreamlike states and illusions and feelings and emotions. These are the type of things that we're communicating from the past, present, and future right now. So this is our Mercury retrograde in Pisces. I think that's enough real quick. But also worth noting is that Mercury is going to continue being in conjunction with Neptune as well as the Sun, and as I mentioned, soon Venus. But let's talk about the Sun and the Moon too. The Moon's now in Pisces, 6 degrees as I make this video. So let's talk about Pisces real quick, because that's really the center of what we're talking about today. We've been talking about Pisces, but we're going to talk about the other planets, other bodies, celestial bodies real quick. So we have Moon in 6 degrees Pisces, so transited in there soon. Sun is about 14 degrees Pisces, somewhere around there right now, might be 15 or something. So the Sun is conjuncting Neptune for sure. It might even be, I don't think it's by degree yet, but it's getting close. That aspect is about to become perfected, because they're going to be on the same degree. The energies will become as one for a good day or so. And Neptune dealing with our deep, dreamlike, and illusory states, really being a co-ruler of Pisces. So really just, absorbing and to a degree directing that Piscean energy of that mutable water. So we're talking about that. And then we also have the Sun here, so our conscious awareness and actions and really the light, all the attention is going to be here too. So we have the Sun here, Neptune, Mercury, and Moon. So our Moon being our subconscious and our reactions and our really just being responsible for the emotions we're feeling at the moment and the feelings that we have, and the way that the collective is feeling at the moment. The Moon being our closest transiting celestial object, and representing our yin world here on the earth, and just being a very, very powerful influence on us here. The subconscious and reactions is the biggest thing what you have to remember with the Moon. It represents the world that we're currently living in, so that's why it represents our reactions. This is what people will be reacting to at the moment. There's a lot of interesting fixed stars in this area. We got the Archangel Gabriel here, we got Fomalhaut, we got Alpha Aquarius, I think it's like Saddlemachia, or it's close to that, Saddleachbia, I think. And then we got a bunch of stars from Aquarius here. We got a bunch of stars from what's that? We got Cygnus, we got Pegasus, and we got Phoenix. We got all sorts of stars here in Pisces in the early degrees where the Moon is, and then moving into the middle where the Sun is right now, where Neptune and the Sun is definitely like Alpha Phoenix, Alpha Eridanus, and things like this, which is the river. So we've got a whole bunch of interesting fixed stars in this area. But You know, there's a very, very big concentration of energy here. Let's talk a little bit about this new moon here, because what's going to happen in the next, you know, 24 hours or so is that we're going to have the moon on the same degree as the sun, forming basically a solar eclipse, or lunar eclipse for you know, a few hours, for about 2 hours or so, maybe at the most. Not necessarily going to be super visible. I'm not really sure about that one. It's not going to be no full wolf blood moon or whatever. You know, it's not a solar eclipse, it's a lunar eclipse. So the moon will be on top of the sun, and this is all just general knowledge, common sense. I'm not reading this out of a book, you know. So we're going to have this occur right in the middle of the sign of Pisces, right in the middle of the 12th celestial house, around like the 15th degree or so. So the moon right on top of the sun coming together. So what this new moon represents is a time of you know, basically the moon has completed her waning journey now. She waxes and then she's full, then she's waning. So now she's completed the waning and now she's new. So we can't see the moon at this time. The moon is recharging, is loading up, is you know, this is the time to plant seeds here with the new moon. And it's going, and you want to plant seeds as far as your reactions as well as actions, and so conscious and subconscious awareness here. In the Piscean type of energy, in the Pisces energy, the mutable water, being mutable and adaptable to your own and other people's ways of feeling and dealing with the emotions. So don't shy away from emotions right now. Don't shy away. That's a big one, man. I'm born on the full Scorpio moon, so I have to I often tend to shy away from emotions in social situations, but you know, I have to kind of wade, you know, and express more, be willing to express more at a time like this. And I actually have to. Everyone has to indulge in this type of energy here for the new moon, or else you ain't gonna have shit to build on. You know, you don't plant the seeds, then you're gonna have nothing to water while the moon is growing through her waxing period, through Pisces, Aries, Taurus, Gemini, Cancer, Virgo. You're gonna Leo, Virgo. You're gonna want to get all of those damn, you know, you're going to want to water your seeds with all of those damn beautiful energies, all those energy signatures from all those signs. So you better dig into this Pisces 12th house shit right now. We're talking about death and transformation in many ways, and the feet, you know. The Pisces representing the feminine side of Jupiter rulership. Man, 1:30. I got to get going in a few minutes. So let's wrap this thing up here. So dig that Pisces energy right now. Dig Neptune energy. Dig Mercury energy and Mercury retrograde, because all that stuff is occurring right now, all in Pisces. So, you know, it's kind of nice. Just pay a lot of attention. Be very, very subconsciously and consciously aware of the Piscean energy right now. It's going to help you out a lot. And if you want to go deeper, you can go to Constellation of Words and check out all the fixed stars and all that kind of crazy stuff. Because I'm telling you, this is a crazy time, because I believe the new moon is going to occur, you know, when the sun and the moon are on the same degree. I can't check during this video, unfortunately, but I believe it's going to occur right within a few degrees, if not on the same degree as Neptune in its rulership of Pisces, and it's going to occur where the fixed stars are Alpha Phoenix and Alpha Eridanus, the river and the Phoenix. So these are very, very significant celestial objects and star systems that operate on a higher clock. For our lower clock here in our Earth realm here, we got to be thinking about the signs for sure with the transits. But then, you know, on a higher clock, if you're really digging this shit, you can go and check out them fixed stars. It's fun, man. It's a lot of fun. But you know, it goes deep. Basically, it goes very deep. This might not be the time to go super deep with it, because you can really mess yourself up, and others, you know. Be careful, because Pisces is a sign that is very in touch with the collective and deals a lot with other people's and their feelings and emotions. So you have to, it's very, very sensitive energy right now, so be careful, man. Don't someone like me, if I wasn't aware of this shit, I'd be running around cussing everyone out. Like I have urges to do that. I'm conscious of all these things. I can't go doing that right now, man. I'm gonna get swept up in a goddamn dream. I'm gonna get swept up in the waves and the energies, because it's very potent right now. Because I'm too deep, man. I'm too deep. Which is kind of cool, because I'm underneath the waves. But you know, Neptune's there right now too, so no one can hide. Not even a deep ass Scorpio moon like myself. You know, everyone got to be conscious of this stuff. Doesn't matter who you are, man. Dolo, Archangel Uriel's talking this shit all day, man, and he's one of the most powerful beings in this realm, and so he takes the most note of this. So I'm following suit as a part of the soul group of Uriel, and you know, just repping the angels, man. Let's just talk a couple of other quick transits before we end this video real quick. Let's talk. We got Venus in Aquarius, so Aquarius being fixed air, Venus representing our love and relationships, value, appreciation, and art, being in the house of the 11th house of Aquarius, of fixed air, so the masculine side of Saturn rulership. So that's where you have Venus is still kicking it with Saturn. And so we got, well, what fixed air represents is being fixated on your own way of thinking and communicating. So we transited out of the Aquarius house with the sun and all that last month and all that, or actually 2 months ago now. So, or no, last month, my bad. And so here we're in Pisces now. So, but we have Venus in Aquarius. So Venus will be squaring Mars. So we're having Mars is in Taurus. We talked about that at the very beginning of the video. Taurus represents being fixated on your own way of thinking and being practical. So Taurus would be the fixated version of the left, and the fixated and physically manifested version of the feminine left side of the brain, and then Aquarius would be the physical manifestation of the right of the yang side, or the masculine side of the left brain. So you can't. That's why you can't tie Aquarius down, because it's fixed air, but it still represents the physical manifestation of it. So it represents a tornado in many effects. So the things you love and appreciate and value right now are probably going to be it could be overwhelming the shit out of you, and also forming because Venus is in that fixed air element right now. Venus can hang. She's no chump. She's been around and all that. She knows what's up. But we're talking about Venus squaring Mars here. So Mars would be in Taurus, debilitated. Venus is chilling in Aquarius. She doesn't love it, but she doesn't hate it necessarily. More neutral. So that square is that 90-degree angle is going to represent a learning process occurring between our love and art and appreciation and values and relationships, and our passions, motivations, and desires, which is what Mars represents, and energy. This is in fixed Earth, and then we have Venus in fixed air. So be aware of that. There's going to be a learning process between our passion and motivation, desires, energy, willpower, and warlike energies, with our love and our love making and our art and all these types of things. A learning process, a 90-degree angle. So dig that. It's going to perfect in like a week or two. Also, they'll be on the same degree of those two signs. So other quick things real quick. We've had some other planets jump degrees and things like that since our last video. So let's talk about who do we not get? Oh, we got so next we have Jupiter. Jupiter's 22 degrees Sagittarius right now. So Sagittarius being mutable fire, representing being mutable and adaptable to your own and others' ways of seeing and feeling. So very, very philosophical and involved in philosophizing all the time and theorizing. Less theorizing, more philosophizing, because that's just what Sagittarius represents with the masculine side of Jupiter rulership. So Jupiter is still in the galactic center, in the masculine rulership of its own sign, which is great, its own rulership. But we are Jupiter. Some of the fixed stars right there are some stars like Alpha on 22 degrees Sagittarius. It's either 22, 23, I believe, is Alpha Ophiuchus. So Ophiuchus is gaining a lot of momentum and a lot of popularity here in 2019. People are walking around, kicking that hilarious shit about like it's the 13th sign and all that. But, that's just symbolic of the fact that it's, gaining more traction here in our realm and more energy, and that's very true. So Alpha Ophiuchus right now is where Jupiter is. So this is Jupiter dealing with our higher wisdom and knowledge, right brain, wisdom and abundance and things like that. So mutable fire. I gotta cut this video, so let's get into a Saturn again real quick. Saturn just jumped a degree. I think it's an 18 degrees Capricorn now. Capricorn being cardinal Earth, the feminine side of Saturn rulership, and cardinal Earth representing initiating and creating new ways of how to think and be practical. So coming up with blueprints left and right. We still have Pluto here as well, who has moved a degree to 22 degrees Capricorn. So Pluto representing our deep transformation. All this being in cardinal Earth right now. So Saturn and Pluto are conjunct right now. Their energies have become as one, and they're working together in many ways. All sorts of interesting stuff, man. Neptune moved a degree. It's in 16 degrees Pisces now, and Uranus is about to go back into Taurus. Within the week or two, I think Uranus will be in 0 degrees Taurus. So Uranus is still there on the cusp of power. 29 degrees Aries, about to transit into Taurus, where it will conjunct Mars and then square Venus. So let's talk one more thing too. But with all these things in Pisces right now, like the moon and the sun and Neptune and Mercury, they're all sextiling Mars and squaring Jupiter, and also sextiling Saturn. So I would love to break all this down even more, but we're going on 20 minutes here, so, and I gotta go, man. I gotta get to the gig. So love y'all, man. Soul family, soul group, subconscious community. Thanks for tuning in, checking this video. It's Nick here, your boy from Full Moon Fallen, astro on that astro tip, baby. Hope you dig in what's up, and we'll get to you with another video soon. So you know, namaste, much love.